Here's a scenario that happens in dental practices every single day. A potential patient calls the practice. They're interested in veneers, Invisalign, or some type of cosmetic treatment. They ask a few questions, the front desk gives them a quick answer, and the conversation ends something like this. Okay, feel free to call back when you're ready to book. And just like that, the opportunity disappears. No consultation booked, no patient walking through the door, and the practice owner never even realizes what's happening. Now, if this only happened once in a while, it wouldn't be a big deal. But in many practices, this happens multiple times every single day, which means over the course of a year, the front desk can unintentionally be costing the practice tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars lost in treatment. And it's not because the team isn't hardworking, but simply because they never were trained to handle high-value treatment inquiries properly. So in this video, I want to walk you through where most front desk teams struggle and what practices can do to turn those incoming calls into far more consultations. When someone calls your practice for the first time, the conversation is incredibly important. From the patient's perspective, it's their first real interaction with the brand. And within the first minute or two of that conversation, they're already forming an impression about the practice. Do these people sound helpful? Do they sound confident? Do they seem like they know what they're talking about? If the conversation feels rushed or uncertain, the caller will often continue searching for other options. But if the experience feels professional and welcoming, the likelihood of booking a consultation dramatically increases. This is why the front desk plays such a critical role in the overall marketing system. Because even if your ads and content are generating interest, that interest still needs to be converted into actual appointments. One of the most common mistakes that front desk teams make is treating cosmetic inquiries the same way they treat general dental calls. For example, someone might call and ask, how much do veneers cost? The natural reaction is to try and answer the question directly. The team member might say something like, veneers usually range between this price and this price. But the moment the price becomes the focus of the conversation, the patient often begins comparing purely on the cost. Instead of seeing the value of the transformation, they start thinking like a shopper comparing prices between multiple clinics. And that can make it much harder to convert the inquiry into a consultation. A better approach is to guide the conversation toward booking the consultation, rather than trying to explain everything over the phone. For example, if someone asks about veneers pricing, the response might sound something like this. Great question. The exact cost depends on the type of smile design and the number of teeth involved. So the best first step is a consultation where the dentist can assess your smile and show you what would work best for you. This keeps the conversation focused on the next step rather than turning it into a price comparison. It also helps position the consultation as the most valuable part of the process, because the consultation is where the patient can see what's actually possible for their smile. Another factor that has a huge impact on the phone conversions is confidence in delivery. When a team member sounds uncertain, rushed, or unsure about how to answer questions, callers can sense it immediately. On the other hand, when the front desk sounds calm, knowledgeable, and genuinely helpful, the caller naturally feels more comfortable moving forward. Confidence usually comes from training and repetition. When team members understand the purpose of the call and have a clear structure for the conversation, they're able to guide the patient much more effectively. One of the simplest ways to improve front desk performance is by providing clear call frameworks and scripts. Not scripts that sound robotic or overly sales driven, but simply guidelines that can help them understand how to guide the conversation. For example, a strong call structure might include, first, warmly greeting the caller and understanding what they're interested in. Second, asking a few questions about what the patient would like to improve about their smile. And third, confidently recommending a consultation as the next best step. When this structure becomes second nature for the team, booking appointments becomes much more consistent. Another strategy that many successful practices use is mystery shopping their own front desk. This simply means having someone call the practice pretending to be a potential patient. The purpose isn't to criticize the team, it's to understand what the real patient experience feels like. Often these calls reveal small gaps in communication that can easily be improved. Maybe the team is giving too much information too quickly. Maybe they aren't clearly inviting the patient to book. Or maybe they simply sound rushed because the practice is too busy. Once these gaps are identified, the practice can refine the conversation and improve the overall experience for callers. The reason this matters so much is because every inquiry represents a potential treatment opportunity. If even a handful of those opportunities are lost each month due to poor call handling, the financial impacts add up really quick. For example, if a practice loses just 2 cosmetic treatment cases per month and the average case value is $10,000, that's already $240K a year in lost production, which means improving the front desk conversion rates can sometimes produce a larger financial impact than generating more leads. Marketing doesn't stop when the phone rings. In many ways, that's where it actually continues. The ads and content create the interest, but the front desk plays a key role in turning the interest into an appointment. When the entire system works together, marketing, phone calls, consultations, and treatment planning, the practice begins to grow much more predictably. And often, the improvements start with something as simple as refining the way incoming calls are handled. If you want help building a system where not only the marketing, but also the patient journey is optimized to generate more cosmetic consultations, we do offer done-for-you partnerships. Our team helps practices implement the full patient acquisition system. If you'd like to learn more, you can find the link in the description below, or feel free to send us a DM on Instagram, and our team will point you in the right direction. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like and subscribe, because we'll continue to share more strategies on how to grow and scale a modern cosmetic dental practice.